So, I'm out walking the dog. It's one of the few times I feel like I can vlog without interruption and all this other stuff. So, today being Monday, I kind of want to stick with the pagan themes. I'm coming to a close with the April challenge, and I want to let people who, if they're following along, that I won't be doing the daily vlogs. I'm not sure if I'll even do any regular vlogging after this, because over the weekend I kind of went into the depths of despair, of depression, and it sort of told me that I kind of learned, like, if I want success in something, I have to kind of pour myself into just a few goals and just focus on that rather than spread myself too thin. So I always ask myself when it comes to certain actions, what's that? Oh, you can see back behind me, there's a tent caterpillars. Anyway, to ask yourself, do I want it? Do I need it? Is it taking me anywhere? So, even though some things might be entertaining for others, it could be quite a lot of work and even stressful. So I have to kind of weigh what things I want to keep doing in my life and what I think is kind of putting effort into something that's not really going anywhere. So, not that, the challenge, there was a point. It was to kind of go outside my comfort zone and to, just start vlogging. And it has taught me, I have gained something from it. The funny thing is, I've noticed with the goals that I've set, is that, I usually, like you set a goal. Okay, I'm going to start over. The thing with goals is I set a goal, and you're thinking, okay, I'm going to set this goal, and this is what the result I want. Now, as the Buddhist teaches, expectation is kind of the root of suffering, which there's truth to that. But in order to do anything or go anywhere, I think you do have to kind of set goals for yourself so you can evolve. And I find that there's times like I will try something, and then it doesn't work out. Or, well, it doesn't work out, but there's usually something to be gained by it. So, I'm finding it hard to concentrate. I'll have to edit this video. Anyway, set a goal, and you want a certain result, and you don't get that. So, but there is something that happens. You usually end up with, okay, remember the other times I've been, if you're following along my vlogs, this is the area that we see like a groundhog, maybe a muskrat, because it kind of moves like a muskrat. I can't quite see it clearly when I do see it. But she remembers, and now she's getting all, where is it? Okay. So, you set goals, you're hoping for results, and you don't get them, but you do get something. Like, for instance, I had been working out for a month, to lose weight, get fit. Well, I did get fit. Didn't lose any weight, though. And I'm sure I'm losing fat and gaining muscle, and I know all that, but... And this is why I don't believe, like, the threefold law works. Like, whatever you give out in the universe comes back threefold. And I've asked the universe, hey, it'd be really nice to lose, like, 4 pounds. That's not unusual, unreasonable. That's not a miracle. And I didn't get it. So, I have been dieting and exercising and whatever. And then, of course, it could be argued, oh, well, you're doing something wrong. Well, obviously. But that doesn't change the fact that some people can do crazy diets and they can lose like 10 pounds first week. I'm just frustrated. I had hoped to, even water weight would have been nice, but the universe, being a dick, decided not to do that. So that's kind of my philosophy. The universe doesn't owe you anything. You can ask what you want, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get it. Okay, I was just stopped by one of the park people, and he just wanted to ask something about my dog, if she was dragging me along. She wasn't. But he is working down by the lock there, and he was telling me that they're basically replacing the wooden bottom because there were some leaks and stuff, and they want to have like the boat be able to go through this area. So that was kind of nice. And he also told me how he had met the guy that lived in the house there. He was like 98 years old when he finally passed on, and he was telling him, kind of stories about, living on the house and working the lock and stuff. I thought, oh, that's kind of neat. So there's always like history. And one thing I really like about the Sino Canal is that everybody here is so incredibly friendly. I can't tell you how many times I've been stopped on the trail. Perfect strangers. And you just end up talking about stuff. You talk about your dog or, whatever. So I totally forgot what my subject was for today, so I might actually start over. I don't know. Being this is like near the end of the month, I don't know if I want to stick to any specific topics. It could be because I've noticed there are some bloggers where they just vlog about their day, about stuff that they do. And I know, like my channel, the vlogs are kind of everywhere. Homeschool, pagan, philosophy. Oh, I know what I want to talk about today. A little bit about like friendships and even marriage and the mixing of religion. That was one of my ideas. So I might as well talk about that. My husband is Lutheran and I am pagan. So some people are like, how do you get that to work? Well, now, obviously, I don't go to church with David and he doesn't come to ritual. But we both respect one another's beliefs. In fact, when I was a member of a coven, there was times I wanted to leave. He actually encouraged me to stay. He's been very supportive. In fact, just this morning, he was telling me, oh, you should write a book, because I'm trying to be a writer. You should write a book on your philosophies, because they're a little bit, I guess, unorthodox. So we were kind of just trying to come up with funny titles. It was like the grand book of fruit bat philosophy or something something silly. But he's encouraging in that, and I try to be encouraging with him. But he doesn't. We don't really usually talk about like the meat of religion. Now, as for friends and stuff, I'm only. Oh, there's a groundhog over there. But that's not why that fell. That just rotted. Maybe this will be kind of like reality TV where I'm attacked or something. Because there's like nobody out here today. There's like no hikers, no bikers. There was a fisherman and those guys working. That's so far all the people that I've seen today. Don't get any poison ivy on you, Pepper. So, yeah. Really. The funny thing is that I find that if you have one religion or philosophy or belief and another person has another, it's not the difference of beliefs that causes the problem, it's the lack of respect. I find like I don't necessarily have to agree with other people. In fact, I'd almost rather have friends that have a different viewpoint, but friends still are respectful and they can state their belief without having to attack yours. That's the best thing for friendship, I think. And I find that I often, get to sit and talk with a lot of people about their beliefs, and I'm actually intrigued. I actually want them to share with me their different views of, God, divine, the afterlife, even sin, because it's interesting, and it's a reflection of who they are as people. Now, some people will parrot what they've been taught, where they don't give much thought of it. They're simply parroting what they've already learned or was told. This is how things are. But the more fascinating is people where they've kind of evolved through their lives and they've had experiences that change those beliefs for whatever reason. And I just find it very, very fascinating. Even my own beliefs have changed. I was a Christian, born-again Christian, to, I think it was atheist, because I was like 13. Atheist. I was a Satanist for a few months, but then it just didn't ring true for me. And then that's when I started finding the occult and paganism. And then it just seemed like everything they had mentioned, all the beliefs seemed to be, made a lot of sense. But then over time, experience has taught me, I don't believe any sentient being is listening when I pray. It's kind of like trying to appeal to my higher self. And sometimes she's a bitch and she's not listening either. Because to me, it's more of a philosophy. It's more of a process of the subconscious than anything else. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to deny somebody else their belief. I'm not going to tell them what they believe is wrong, because maybe they have to go through their own processes And maybe it helps them, maybe it doesn't. But that's not for me to decide. So I really find that it's being respectful is the key to friendship. Not always having people that agree with you or believe in the same things as you, although there should be something in common, I guess. But wouldn't it be great if that thing that was in common was mutual respect?